saw all the peaches and wine had disappeared, she woke the attendants and asked them why they were asleep and where the peaches and wine had gone. They said that they did not know, that they were waiting for her to come, and fell asleep. Then one of the guests suggested that she should find out what had become of the feast, and attendants were sent out to the guard to find out from the soldiers if anyone had gone out of the gate recently. Before the messenger had time to return, the guard of heaven came and informed the Empress that a big monkey, who was very drunk and carried a big stick, had just gone out of the gate. When she was told of this, she ordered the soldiers of heaven and several Buddhas to go and find him at his place. It seems that this monkey had originally been made from a piece of stone and lived in a large hole in a mountain on the earth. He was endowed with supernatural powers and could walk on the clouds. He was allowed to come to heaven, and the Empress of Heaven gave him a position looking after the imperial orchards. When they got to his place on the earth, they found that he had taken some of the peaches with him, and he, with other monkeys, was having a feast. The soldiers challenged him to come out and fight. He immediately accepted this challenge, but the soldiers could do nothing with him. He pulled the hair out of his coat and transformed each hair into a little monkey, and each monkey had an iron rod in his hand. He himself had a special iron rod, which had been given to him by the King of Sea Dragons. This rod he could make any size he wanted, from a needle to a crowbar. Among the Buddhas who had gone with the soldiers was one named Lang Ye, who was the most powerful of them all and had 3 eyes. This Buddha had a dog which was very powerful, and he told the dog to bite this monkey, which he did, and the monkey fell down, and they caught him and brought him up to heaven. When they got there, the Empress of Heaven ordered that he should be handed to Lao Chun, an old Taoist god, and that he should burn him in his incense burner. The incense burner was very large, and when they took the monkey to him, he placed him inside this burner and watched him very carefully to see that he did not get out. After he had watched for a long time, he thought the monkey must be dead and went out for a few minutes. The monkey, however, was not dead, and as soon as Lao Chun went out, he escaped and stole some golden pills which Lao Chun kept in a gourd and went back to his hole in the mountains. The pills were very powerful, and if one of them were eaten, it would give eternal life, and the monkey knew this. The monkey ate one, and it tasted good, and he gave the little monkey some. When Lao Chun came back and found both the monkey and the pills gone, he went and informed the Empress of Heaven. This ended the second scene. The third scene opened with the Buddhas and soldiers at the monkey's palace in the mountains, and they again asked him to come out and fight. The monkey said, "What? Coming again?" and laughed at them. They started to fight again, but he was so strong they could not get the best of him. Even the dog who had bit him before was powerless this time, and they finally gave it up and returned to heaven and told the Empress of Heaven that they could not capture him the second time, as he was too strong. Then the Empress of Heaven called a little god about 15 years old by the name of哪, who had supernatural powers, and told him to go down to earth to the monkey's place and see if he could finish him. This god was made of lotus flowers and leaves. That is, his bones were made of flowers and his flesh made of leaves, and he could transform himself into anything that he wished. When哪got to the monkey's place and the monkey saw him, he said, "What? A little boy like you come to fight me? Well, if you think you can beat me, come on." And the boy transformed himself into an immense man with 3 heads and 6 arms. When the monkey saw this, he transformed himself also into the same thing. When the little god saw that this would not do, he transformed himself into a very big man and started to take the monkey. But the monkey transformed himself into a very large sword and cut this man into 2 pieces. The little god again transformed himself into fire to burn the monkey, but the monkey transformed himself into water and put the fire out. Again the little god transformed himself, this time into a very fierce lion, but the monkey transformed himself into a big net to catch the lion. So this little god, seeing that he could not get the best of the monkey, gave it up and went back to heaven, and told the Empress of Heaven that the monkey was too strong for him. The Empress of Heaven was in despair, so she sent for Ju Li, an old ancestor of the Buddhas, who was the all-powerful one of them all, and Kuan Yin, Goddess of Mercy, and sent them down to the monkey's place to see if they could capture him. When they arrived at a hole in the mountain, the monkey came out and looked at Ju Li, but did not say a word, as he knew who this god was. This god pointed a finger at him, and he knelt down and submitted. Ju Li said, "Come with me," and took the monkey and put him under another mountain, and told him he would have to stay there until he promised he would be good. Ju Li said, "You stay here until one day I lift this mountain up for you to come out to go with the Buddhist priest to the west side of heaven and demand the prayer books that are kept there. You will have to suffer a great deal on the way and face many dangers, but if you come back with this Buddhist priest and the prayer books, by that time your savage temper will be gone and you will be put in a nice place in heaven and enjoy life forever afterwards." This finished the play, which was very interesting, and I enjoyed it from beginning to end. It was acted very cleverly and quite realistic, and I was very much surprised to know that the eunuchs could act so well. Her Majesty told us that the scenery was all painted by the eunuchs, and that she had taught them about all they knew. Unlike most theaters in China, it had a curtain which was closed between the acts, also wing slides and drop scenes. Her Majesty had never seen a foreign theater, and I could not understand where she got all her ideas from. She was very fond of reading religious books and fairy tales, and wrote them into plays and stages them herself, and was extremely proud of her achievement. Her Majesty sat talking, we standing, for some little time, and she asked me if I understood the play, and I told her that I did, and she seemed quite pleased. Then she said in such a charming way, "Oh, I am so interested in talking with you that I have forgotten to order my lunch. Are you hungry? Could you get Chinese food when you were abroad, and were you homesick? I know I would be if I left my own country for so long a time, but the reason why you were abroad so long was not your fault. It was my order that sent Yu Geng to Paris, and I am not a bit sorry, for you see how much you can help me now, and I am proud of you, and will show you to the foreigners, that they see our Manchu ladies can speak other languages than their own." While she was talking, I noticed that the eunuchs were laying 3 large tables with nice white tablecloths, and I could see a number of other eunuchs standing in the courtyard with boxes of food. These boxes or trays are made of wood painted yellow, and are large enough to hold 4 small and 2 large bowls of food. After the tables were laid ready, the eunuchs outside formed themselves into a double line from the courtyard to a little gate running into another courtyard, and passed these trays from one to the other up to the entrance of the room, where they were taken by 4 nicely dressed eunuchs and placed on the tables. It seems that it was a habit of Her Majesty to take her meals wherever she happened to be, so that there was no particular place that she used as the dining room. I should also mention that these bowls were of imperial yellow with silver covers. Some were ornamented with green dragons, and some with the Chinese character Shou, long life. There were about 150 different kinds of food, for I counted them. They were placed in long rows, 1 row of large bowls and 1 row of small plates, and then another row of small bowls, and so on. As the setting of the tables was going on, Court ladies came into the bedroom, each carrying a large yellow box. I was very much surprised to see Court ladies doing this kind of work, and I said to myself, if I come here, will I have to do this sort of thing? Although these boxes appeared to be quite heavy, they brought them in very gracefully. 2 small tables were placed in front of Her Majesty. Then they opened the boxes and placed a number of very cute plates containing all sorts of sweets, lotus flower seeds, dried and cooked with sugar,